Hey friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well, and I'm ready to be back today with another month in review video, a look at what I sold online on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay last month. So we're looking at March 2023. So we're gonna take a look back at what all I sold, how many pieces I sold, how much I sold them for, how much I actually paid for those items, and also my overview numbers as well as my little numbers. So we're gonna look at sales, the top 10 sales from the last month, and then how much I actually sold in total as a full-time reseller. So it's gonna be an exciting and really informative video where I'll talk about the brands that I sold and the pieces that sold for good money. So if you guys are also reselling either on the side or full-time, I think it should be a valuable video. Even if you are not a seller, I think it's gonna be fun to take a look at. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, but let's jump into my overview numbers of what I sold in March 2023. So my main selling platform is Poshmark, and it has been for quite a while. That's where I have the majority of my items listed. This month I actually started an eBay store, and so I'm really trying to invest more time and effort into selling on eBay. So I'm not seeing the fruits of that labor yet, but I'm hoping to in the next few months gain a lot of, momentum on eBay as well. So Poshmark, I sold over $3,000 just on Poshmark, and then I sold $367 on eBay, and just $186 on Mercari. And Mercari has been really hit or miss for me lately. Some months I will sell literally nothing, and I'll be listing every day, and it just won't make a difference. And then some months it will come out of nowhere, and I'll make like $1,000 in sales. So I don't really understand what's going on there. But those were the kind of breakdown of my three platforms and how much I was selling. Definitely the majority is coming from Poshmark at this point, but I want to get to a point where I'm selling pretty much equally on Poshmark and eBay, if not more on eBay. That would be wonderful. So in total sales from all three of my platforms, I sold last month $3,592 in sales. So that is my total number before Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, before they take their cuts of my profit. And so after all of those fees are taken out, I made $2,830.16 in gross profit before my cost of goods. So the majority of my items that I source come from thrift stores or the bins. And so my cost of goods is generally less than $5 per piece, usually right around $2 to $3. So I'm looking at not spending very much, and that's helping to keep my net profit pretty high. I know a lot of people do liquidation, and that's a good way to move a lot of things in bulk, but then your cost of goods is gonna be higher. So your net profit is different than your gross profit for sure, especially if you're spending a lot of money on your goods. But I happen to not spend a ton of money. Now let's see how many items I sold last month. Last month, I sold 84 items, which is pretty, not that great actually. I've been selling closer to 100 items each month more recently. I looked at a year ago in March 2022, and in 2022, on March, I sold 81 items. So I sold 3 more items than last year, but I did make almost $1,000 more in sales. So I'm picking, better items that are selling for more money. So my average sales price, when you take how much I actually sold everything for and divide by the number of items, was $42.77, which is great. I've been really aiming to get an average sales price of my items for at least $40. I think that is a great price to be selling majority of my items at. And of course, there are pieces that sell for more than that and for less, of course. But those are kind of the flying over numbers. You hear how much I actually, sold, and then how much I actually take home from that, minus my cost of goods, and what my average sales price is. I think that's really valuable information. But then now we have my top 10 sales of the month. And I had some really good sales this month. There are some things that sold for a good amount, and a lot of it I did not pay very much money for. So I'm very excited to share those brands and those items with you, and hopefully that will give you guys an idea of things to look for too while you're out thrifting. So now we're gonna do the top 10. We're gonna do it countdown style, of course, but let me scoot to the side so you can see pictures. I also, before we jump into those top 10, want to mention as well, I am a full-time reseller, and I make a lot of content around reselling, but I'm also a full-time YouTuber. So I'm making 3 videos a week. I'm editing all my videos myself. I do everything for the videos myself. So these are numbers from somebody who is reselling but is also doing YouTube. So keep that in mind as well. So sometimes people buy things from me because I'm a YouTuber, but also I cannot list as much because I am spending about half my time reselling and half my time making videos about reselling. So just keep that in mind, because there is maybe you think that I make a ton more sales than you because I'm a reseller on YouTube, but I don't think that's the case. I think I spend a lot of time making videos, and so that really does not lend itself well to being able to sell a ton unless you have help. So I'm a one-woman show. Just keep that in mind as we go into our top 10 sales. So my 10 best sales from March 2023. Number 10 was a bins find, which is really fun. So number 10 is this pair of Doc Martens. These were a vintage brown leather pair of distressed Oxfords. I did use my Doc Martens little Wonder Balsam. It's a nice little like leather conditioning agent that really helps to restore leather that is cracked or like just, like dried out a little bit. So I did that on these, and that really helped them out a lot. I think that's why they were left at the bins. But I picked these up at the bins. I think my cost of goods that trip was like $1.50 an item. So I did not pay very much for these, and these sold for $55 on Poshmark. And so from $55, we made $41.98, which is about $40 of net profit at the end of the day. And Doc Martens are a really consistent seller for me. Once I find them, they don't generally sit in my store very long. It just kind of depends on the season. Even the flip-flops or sandals that are like vintage from them can do really well, and I pick them up all the time. So it's definitely something I never sleep on. Love Doc Martens. And then number 9 was this pair of On running shoes. These were this Cloud Monster pair in a men's size 12. I also picked these up in the bins, aka the Goodwill outlet. If you don't know the Goodwill outlet, you pay per pound and not per item. So you're digging through, mountains of clothes and pulling out things to resell. And it's really fun. Love those videos. If you haven't checked out some of my Goodwill outlet hauls, I'll have the playlist linked up above. But it's a super, super inexpensive way to source materials. So these were a pair of On running shoes. Love that brand. Super good brand to be on the lookout for. Really easy to notice them because of the little, I guess they're kind of like clouds. They're little circle things on the bottom of the shoes. Very interesting looking. But these sold for $60. I had them listed for $90, and I think I sold them within the same day I listed them for $60 on an offer. So from $60, we made $48, and I bought these in the bins. I think I paid $2 for the pair, which was not bad at all. So for $2 into them, we make $46 net profit at the end of the day. And I love going to the bins. I love this shoe brand too. They're super cool. I actually picked those up in Indiana, so you can find good things in all the states. Number 8 was another bins pickup. My bins pickups are really doing well this month, and I'm not mad about it. Number 8 was this Karl Lagerfeld Paris Cara backpack. It was this navy blue kind of small backpack, but had these little Paris little maybe patches kind of on it. It's from Karl Lagerfeld, and I have left behind a lot of Karl Lagerfeld items just because they haven't been selling for tons of money for me. Some of his more designer level items or a really nice formal gown would do really well. Some of his other pieces don't do especially well, which is kind of confusing. But since this was in the bins, I picked it up. And I listed it kind of high at 75, I think, or maybe 85. But my Posher VA sends out automatic offers, and so it sent out an offer for $68 in discounted shipping, and somebody accepted that. So from $68, we make $52.38. With about $1 into my cost of goods, we were looking at $51 of net profit. So really good pickup on that, but it did sit for probably a good year because I picked this up in the bins outside of Pittsburgh. It was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that I picked that up, and so the Doc Martens were from my bins, On running shoes were from Indiana bins, and then this Karl Lagerfeld backpack was from the Pittsburgh bins, so very interesting. Number 7 was a good sale, but it also was something I paid up for. So again, sales prices can be deceiving when you don't know how much people pay for things, so be really careful in comparing yourself to other people's sales because you never know how much people pay for the items that they're selling for good amounts. This piece was this Vibe Check jumpsuit. It was really cool, size extra large, great size from Free People. Really cool piece, very 70s inspired, I feel like. I bought this from a Posh show, and I think I spent $25 on this plus shipping. So I had $30 into this jumpsuit. It sold for $70, and we made $56 after Poshmark took its fees. So Poshmark is really benefiting from this selling more than once, but I sold it and only made really $20 at the end of the day, even though it sold for $70. So I think I personally would much rather take a bins pickup where I only pay $1 or $2 and they make almost all profit than to do something almost like retail arbitrage in a way. But that's just my personal opinion, my personal preference. You guys might like doing that instead. So Let me know down below. Do you guys like doing retail arbitrage? I feel like I am horrible at it and I always just never make money, but maybe you're really good at it. Let me know in the comment. Number 6 is a shoe brand that I absolutely love and is one that I need to put on a list somewhere because it's so good. It was a pair of Rothy's. I've only found 2 pairs ever, and they both I found at a Goodwill, the same Goodwill that I don't go to very often. And so I picked these up for $7 and they sold for $79. So from $79 on Poshmark, we made $61.18. So we're looking at about $54 of net profit at the end of the day, and I'm really happy with that. They did sit for so long. The first pair of Rothy's I sold, they sold within a day of me listing them, and they sold for like $130. These ones sat for much longer and then only sold for $79, which is still a great sales price, but is like $50 less than my last time I sold them. So I feel like maybe it's just me, but maybe Rothy's just aren't selling as quickly as they once did, or maybe they've lost a little popularity. Who knows? But that was an interesting sale, a really good sale, but also took a while to sell. Let me know. Are you guys having trouble selling your Rothy's? Are they not moving like they used to? I need to know. So then number 5 is a very exciting sale. It's an Amanda Uprichard dress, and the only one I had found up until this point. It was this Ace dress, and there was somebody famous wearing it. I don't even know who it is, but I had a picture of them wearing it. I found somebody else that had sold it on Poshmark with that picture, and I was like, okay, let's try that. So it sold for $100. Somebody offered me $100 for this dress, and so I accepted that offer. I think I had it listed at $150 maybe. I'm not quite sure. But with that offer, we made $80, and I picked this up at 2nd Avenue, just a random thrift store, I think for $5. So it was a really good sale for me. We made $75 on that dress, and I just went thrifting there with my mom and GU the other day, and I actually found a second Amanda Uprichard dress there, so I'm very excited about that too. So hopefully that will also sell for a good amount, but that's a great brand to know. I think that is on my 50 best Bolo brand list, so it's one to be on the lookout for sure. And then we had this sale. This is number 4. And I actually just hauled this for you guys. This was in a recent accumulated thrift haul where I got these boots for like $3 at this little church-run thrift store. They were a pair of UGG and Dirondack 3 boots. They were like a winter boot with, sheepskin and leather. They were gorgeous, and they sold on eBay this month. I had them listed, I think, for just like a week before they sold. I had them listed high because they were a $300 pair of boots, but I got an offer on eBay for $115. And so I decided to accept that because on eBay I make more percentage than I do on Poshmark, and so I would rather sell them on eBay than on Poshmark. So I accepted that offer. We made $97.04 after all the eBay fees and shipping fees, and so I paid $3 for those boots. So we made $94 of net profit on that pair of boots, and they sold within a week. So I'm very happy with that sale for sure. So that was one of the best ones of the month. And I just love it when you don't spend very much money and then you can turn it around for almost over $100. That's so good in my opinion. Then sale top 3, here we are. Number 3 is this pair of Blundstones. The first time I've ever found a whole set of these, I found a single pair once, just like one half of the pair in the bins, and it was a child's boot. But I found a full matching set of Blundstones that were in almost new condition. Like, they looked excellent. Found them at my local buy sell trade store called Uptown Cheapskate, kind of like a Plato's Closet, and I bought them there. I think they were only like $30 there or something crazy, but I used in-store credit, so I don't think I paid out of pocket for those either. So I took things that I thrifted in the bins, took it in there for in-store credit, and then bought these Blundstones, which I then sold on eBay. They're in a black leather size 13 men's for $128. So that was a great sale. From the $128, we made $104.05, and I didn't actually pay anything out of pocket for those, so that was all net profit. That's amazing. $100 right there, and they sold, I think, within a week or two, so not bad at all. Very good sale, and I would always be on the lookout for Blundstones. It's a great shoe brand to know. And then sale number 2, we are down to the top 2. And it is this amazing pair of JNCO jeans. So JNCO, I call it JNCO, I think that's what you call it. But JNCO jeans, they're these Y2K, really like baggy looking, like all these pockets all over them. They're a really popular brand of pants to know. there's a lot of guys on the lookout for these. And these ones that I found in the bins in Indiana. Same trip as the On Cloud shoes that I also sold in my top 10. But these I listed for $199. This is a great brand to know. And I, within the first, I think 10 minutes, got a $100 offer, and then I got a $150 offer. And so I probably could have waited and sold these full price, but I decided to take that $150 offer. So from $150, we made $120. And I picked these up in the bins, so I paid $2 for this pair of pants, which is an amazing find. It's just like the best feeling when you sell something that you got for so cheap. So I made $118 of net profit on those pants, and they sold the first day I listed them, within the first like 15 minutes, which is an amazing sale, and that has got to be the highlight of the video. So then, number one, the best sale that I had in March of 2023 was a For Love and Lemons dress, and it was the Tahiti ruched dress, new with tags. New with tags is great all the time. For Love and Lemons is a really good brand to know, and it can resell for good money. It is an excellent bolo, and it sold for $170 on my Poshmark. So I sold it for $170. After Poshmark gets fees, I made $136 now. I picked this also up at my Uptown Cheapskate, so a buy, sell, trade store, but this was part of the Dollar Thrift Challenge. And so if you guys haven't watched that playlist, I started with a single dollar. I bought one item with that, and then I flipped it and used the profits over and over again as I bought things and flipped them until I got to $1,000 of profit. I just started with $1, so then I only used that $1 to buy everything in that challenge, and so I actually did not pay anything out of pocket for this dress. It all came from the Dollar Thrift Challenge, which is great. So for a $136 of profit after their fees, I didn't have any cost of goods to take out. So we made $136 on that dress, which is so good. I'm very, very happy with that sale. So some of my top sales of the month came from the bins. Some came from challenges where I wasn't paying like any money, or I was taking in clothes to flip to a store so I wouldn't have to pay anything out of pocket. So I felt really good about being thrifty and all of the different thrifty choices I made to get some really big sales and to, you know, turn a good profit at the end of the day. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be a reseller. You don't have to spend a lot of money to make good money. You just have to know your brands, and you have to be consistent in looking for items. And if you're consistently looking, then sometimes you're going to find things that can sell in the first 15 minutes you've listed them. That's amazing. So those are the pieces that were my top sales of the month. I sold almost $4,000 this month. That's kind of my goal. I want to hit around $4,000 in sales each month. And so that was what my March looked like, but I would love to hear from you guys. What did your March look like? If you are a seller, let me know how it went for you guys. I found this month to go a little slow at times, but then it still came out being a good month for me. So let me know what your best sale of the month was down below too. I would love to hear it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And until the next video, bye.